Yo! What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. Guys, we got a lot to talk about today. We got the Bitcoin weekly chart here against the S&P 500 and why this is not just a big week for Bitcoin, but also the S&P 500. It's absolutely huge. We're going to talk about it today. Let's get busy and not waste any more time. If you guys haven't liked the video, smash the like video up and subscribe to the channel. If you want more weekly time frame and higher time frame updates, that's what we do here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what we do here. All right, so let's jump on in. So why is this week such a big week for Bitcoin? And you might be looking at the Bitcoin chart and saying it's not doing anything. I mean, you simply go over to the weekly, the hourly time frame. Look at Bitcoin, guys. I mean, for the last 7 days, it hasn't done anything. But what it's doing is allowing some other things outside of it to actually perform pretty well or pretty bad. We'll take a look at both of the scenarios here. But if you look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame and look at where the S&P 500 is, you'll understand how crucial right now is to Bitcoin and to the S&P 500. And you know that they are very correlated. I think they're actually 70% correlated based off percentage. So if you see the S&P 500 dump, you're going to see Bitcoin dump and vice versa. If you see a pump, you're going to see Bitcoin pump. It's sometimes that simple, right? If we take a look at the S&P 500 chart and over here on the left, you'll understand why this is such an important week. The S&P 500 last week came all the way back down and retested that 200-week EMA. And if you've been watching this channel, you understand that the S&P 500 doesn't normally break that 200-week EMA. And when it does, it's usually not pretty for markets, every market, right? And Bitcoin has actually only been around one time where the S&P 500 has actually broken that 200-week EMA. Where was that? Well, if we go back in time here, the only time the S&P 500 has broken the 200-week EMA in Bitcoin's existence was right here in March of 2020. And we know that wasn't a very pretty day, albeit we did recover pretty quickly. That wasn't a pretty day overall for for really anything, right? I mean, name any asset that wasn't very pretty for any asset. But if we go back over here to Bitcoin, you guys can see we're chilling here at the 200-week EMA. Is it a coincidence that the S&P is at its lows, right? But you want to look at the S&P, the NASDAQ, any kind of thing here. They're all at their lows. Is it a coincidence that the S&P is at its lows and Bitcoin is also at its lows in the same week? I don't think so, right? Bitcoin's been going sideways for a while. It pretty much just allowed the S&P to catch up to it to the downside, okay? So here's the deal, and here's what we need to watch for going to this week. I mean, very, very simply, we need to see if the S&P is going to hold this double bottom at the 200-week EMA or if it's going to simply continue down to its next support level. That's what we need to watch for going this week. And sometimes it's really just that simple, right? Sometimes we want to make it super difficult, but we need to see what the S&P 500 does here, right? If we look down, I mean, the next support levels at the S&P are probably the February 2020 highs, which if we look at how far of a drop that is, that's almost, I mean, you could be talking about a 10% drop on the S&P. Bitcoin's more volatile than the S&P. If the S&P drops 10%, you best bet that Bitcoin could drop more than 10%, right? My next big support level is 16,200. Why 16,200 if the S&P breaks? I mean, first of all, it's about a 14% drop. Wouldn't make sense. Bitcoin's more volatile. The S&P could drop significantly more. So watch out for that. If the S&P cannot hold the lows here and starts breaking down, whether it's this week, next week, 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, that's when Bitcoin's going to get its move down to probably its next support. For me, it's at 16,200, but I also have an interesting level we'll take a look at in a second. The one thing I will say about the Bitcoin chart, and I don't see a lot of people talking about this just yet, is there is some bullish divergence on the weekly. Okay, we do now have some lower lows coming in on Bitcoin, and we have some higher lows on the RSI. Okay, which is classic bullish divergence. We'll see if it plays out. I would like to see it be there on the S&P, or I would like to see the S&P still get that bounce and see Bitcoin, close at least one green weekly candle to the upside here before I want to say, okay, we have weekly bullish divergence. We should be coming up here on Bitcoin. All right. We need to pay attention to that. All right. Because it is there. It's there until Bitcoin really makes a lower low on the RSI. So what I want to say about this especially is Bitcoin could still go lower, right? And the RSI could still go lower. And Bitcoin still have that bullish divergence, right? Bitcoin could drop back down to 17K-ish and still have that bullish divergence. Okay, so that doesn't mean we have to go up from here, but that does mean that there is a little divergence in the charts. We got to pay attention to it going forward, and we will, right? All right, anyways, what's the big level that we might be looking at? So we talked about we want to see the S&P 500 hold the lows. If it doesn't, great. If it does, and it can get a bounce, we'll be looking for is a bounce back up to this downward sloping trend line, probably to like 4,000, right? We do have this red vector candle right here. What's a vector candle? Means that there was high volume on this candle, which means that the whales or the market makers, I should say, have a high percentage chance to move it back up to that range at some point. You just don't know when. If we can bounce, create a double bottom, cool. Maybe we come back up to this like 4,100-ish range over the course of the next couple of weeks. That's the bullish scenario. What would that mean for Bitcoin? Well, if we go over to simply the weekly chart here, let me see the weekly chart. If we go over to the weekly chart, well, what could that mean for Bitcoin? Well, we have this sort of downward sloping trend line for BTC coming like this, okay? Where if Bitcoin can get that rise, just notice I look like an angel in the video today. Holy moly, guys. Do you guys enjoy me looking like an angel? I love it. Look, it's like angel in the charts over here. If this does get this rally up here, okay, probably wouldn't be anything crazy, but that would probably mean Bitcoin like 21K, somewhere in that range, if the S&P can get a bounce. That's a big if. Now, one region that I'm looking at that it's still on the charts, which is quite interesting, is the 786 retracement for Bitcoin. Okay, so from bear market lows from 2018 to the swing highs of the bull market at 69K, the 786 retracement still comes in at 17,100. Now, I want you to remember this level because what we talked about, if Bitcoin goes lower, it's still going to have that bullish divergence. If the S&P goes lower, it might create the bullish divergence. And this could be some type of bullish case scenario. I don't know if this is the most likely scenario, but hear me out. So 17,136 is that 786 retracement. We know we wicked to about 17,600. So here's the deal. What does Bitcoin love to do? Well, it loves to do swing failures, right? It loves to break previous supports, fake everyone out, right? Make retail think, holy shit, we're going lower. It loves to come back down, make a slightly lower low, make retail think, oh my God, we're going to 14K guaranteed. I'm selling my whole portfolio. Retail sells the whole portfolio here, thinking it's going to go down, and instead it pops right back up, makes a slightly lower low with bullish div, and we do our thing, right? That's what Bitcoin loves to do consistently lately. That's why I don't believe in breakout trading anymore, just because it just doesn't work, man. Bitcoin loves to fake you out. So a scenario could be that we go down to that 786 retracement at about 17,100, slightly lower than the previous low, make everyone think, holy shit, this is the end, and then we pop back up. Could be a scenario to watch out for. Like I said, could be. Keep your radar on that. We'll keep an eye on this at 17,136. That is the level that we're looking for. If that doesn't hold, well, we actually, if you look left real quick at that 786 retracement, we do have that previous wick high, right, from January 2018. So we obviously had the all-time high at 19.9, but then we had that next local high where we had this little wick back up from January 2018 right there. So it's a support level, right? Now, if that doesn't hold, we're looking at 16K as the next level. Simply the weekly close highs from January 2018 right here, right? So we'll keep watching this. All in all, you got to stay alert at these times. The best times to accumulate your crypto for the long term are going to be during these times, guys. I know these times suck, but these are the times you have to pay attention to the market. If you've been DCAing in this range, nice. I do think these would be good long-term prices. If we continue lower, keep your eye on the price because, as we always say, the best opportunities to make money in crypto are during the bear market, not during the euphoria phase. You can make money during the euphoria phase, but not the money that you're looking for. In my personal opinion, these are the times you have to pay attention and be ready for whatever opportunities arise. Now, the DXY, one more thing on the DXY, I'm done doing TA on the DXY. I'm done, right? I'm never doing TA on the DXY again. Why? Because it doesn't respect TA. It's going to do its own thing. You got the euro capitulating to the downside. You got the Japanese currency just getting crushed to the downside. I mean, as long as those currencies keep getting crushed and those economies are doing worse than the US, the dollar is going to continue up. And as long as the dollar continues up, you got to give Bitcoin a little bit of a side eye. Okay, doesn't mean I'm capitulating my portfolio. I have my HODL portfolio. I will never sell my HODL portfolio because I think it's more risky to not be in crypto at all than to be in crypto at this point. My personal opinion, just based off where we are price wise. So, you know, if the DXY wants to top out here, great. Okay, I don't think it is at this point. Just looking at the charts, I mean, 120 seems inevitable, though. I mean, what's support and resistance levels on the DXY, right? So keep an eye on that. The DXY just looks like it wants to get stronger. You know, what don't kill me makes me stronger, as they do say. So 120, 150, 120, 15 looks inevitable. We'll continue to keep an eye on it, though. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, like we said, I mean, it's such a big week this week for Bitcoin, stock markets, to see if they can hold these double bottoms, and if they do, great. DXY probably gets a little cool off, but you know, at the moment, this thing just keeps ripping to the upside, and that's what we got, right? That's the hand that we've been dealt at this point. So not much we can really say about that, but that's really all I have today for you guys. All right, so smash up the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Take it easy. All right? Take it easy, man. Peace.